Hey guys, and welcome back for another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make another pet bed. This of course could be used as a cushion cover for your patio furniture, but for this tutorial we'll be making it soft and cute, perfect for a little pup. This bed will be placed inside a crate, so I made my measurements based on the size of the crate. As with all my tutorials, I have a blog post which is linked below, as well as the information icon, and there you'll find how I created my pattern from the size of foam I have, so you can easily customize your dog bed or cushion cover. Also, materials and links to any of the products and tools I used in my tutorials. And of course, if you're not already, I would love it if you subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a tutorial, and smash that like button, as the kids like to say. So for this tutorial, I will be using memory foam. This was just an old memory foam piece and I just cut it to the size that I need, but you can go over to Joann's or Hobby Lobby and you can grab foam from there. And then I'm going to be using this beautifully soft fur fabric for the top of the bed, this cotton fabric for the bottom of the bed, and then I'm going to be using this really cute puppy print for the sides of the bed. We'll be putting a zipper in the one side so you can easily take your cushion cover on and off, which is perfect for those dirty paws. I'm going to be using a zipper that is the entire length of one side of your bed. And for the zipper portion, we will have 4 separate pieces of fabric just to finish off that zipper end. So this is a medium-sized crate. I'll have it linked also at the blog post, so if you do have the same crate, you can totally just copy all of my measurements. So the first thing we're going to do is work on the zipper portion. So I am trying to be a little fancy here, but you don't have to be. I did take one strip of fabric and I cut that down the center so that when I do put the zipper in, then the fabric sort of continues on, the print does at least. So I'm just going to take the top of that piece of fabric, put that with the zipper pull towards the right side of the fabric, take another piece of fabric, and I'll sandwich that zipper, and then the other piece of the fabric that continued the print on, I'll leave that for the second step. I'm just going to sew along the zipper, and I'm going to switch over to a zipper foot for this step. If you're new to zipper feet, I will have a tutorial in the top right hand corner of this video, and you can check out all about zipper feet and how they work and how they are a godsend when it comes to installing zippers. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew right along those zipper teeth. So I will include a ton of footage for you guys in this video just so that you can know exactly what I'm doing. So it might take a little while and then I might be a little rambly and talking about things, but I just want you guys to see exactly what is happening. But I am going to speed up where I can. So after you do this part, then we're going to flip it with the right sides out and we're going to do a top stitch right along those zipper teeth. So now is the perfect time to talk about last week's trivia question, which was, what were the early sewing needles made out of? So most of you were correct. They are made out of bone, most likely a bird, because they had those nice fine bones. But they also were made out of ivory, which would be definitely frowned upon these days, that's for sure. Okay, so now that we have learned that, let's move on to our next step. We are going to take the second piece for the outer fabric. We'll place that on top of the zipper and then take the lining fabric and place that on top, sandwiching the zipper. We're going to line up the sides so that they're all lined up with the first pieces of fabric that we attach to the zipper, just to make sure it's all even on both sides. And again, we're going to do a little seam right down the edge of that zipper. So next we're going to talk about the next trivia question because I feel like you guys enjoyed them. So what fabric, let's see how well you know your fabrics, what fabric is made from a bug? Ugh, gross, I know. Okay, so now we're going to start attaching the side panels to the bottom of the bed. So all you're going to do is take your side panels and just lay them on the edge of your base fabric, which I'm using the cotton. I will be doing it one at a time, but just so you know, or so you can see, this is basically how I'm doing it. You're just going to make sure that all of your fabrics are right sides together. So of course that gray fabric doesn't have a right or wrong side, but just pretend that they are right sides towards each other. And then I'm just going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance right down all the sides. I do start about a 1/4 inch in, just so when I go to do the side seams, you'll see once you get there what I'm talking about. But I am not going to be finishing these edges really. If you want to finish them, and you're welcome to, they'll be inside the cushions, so I don't really find it necessary. I did choose to do a zigzag stitch just along the edges, just to prevent further fraying. But I'm not going to do anything more than that, just because, like I said, it's on the inside of the cushion, so I don't think that it really matters as much. But if you wanted to use a bias tape or something like that, or use a serger to serge off those edges, then I definitely would recommend that. So I am just going around the gray fabric and attaching all of my pieces. So I hope you are enjoying this tutorial so far. If you are, I hope that you give me a thumbs up. And of course, if you do make any of my tutorials, I would love to see it. So please come on over to the Facebook group or hit me up over on Instagram. All those links are in the description box below. Okay, so this is how it is looking. So now I'm gonna work on the side seams. And before I do up the side with my zipper, I'm just gonna open the zipper so I don't end up cutting off the zipper pole. And then I'll just line up the side edges of the fabric and try to put that zipper as close together as you can. I'm just gonna clip that into place just to keep it all together. If you wanted to tack your zipper and put a few stitches over top of the zipper teeth, you can do that. That would make it a lot easier. But you know me, I like to do things more difficult. And then I'll just do that to the other 4 corners. Just lining up those sides with the right sides together. And because I left that little 1/4 inch when I was sewing the side panels together, then this part is a lot easier. And I will just sew right down there, and then it will line up with those other sets of stitches. And I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I did that for all 4 corners. I only showed 3 here, so if you're counting, I only showed 3. And when I go over the open part of the zipper, I did just tack over it a bunch, just to make sure that when I do go to flip the whole thing right side out, I don't end up tugging on that zipper and messing up the seam. And I'm just going to clip off that excess zipper tape. So here I'm just showing that I did do the zigzag stitch right along the edge of the fabric. And like I said, that's just going to prevent further fraying. So this is how it is looking so far, and we're going to attach our fur fabric or the top of your cushion next. And all I'm going to do is just line up all the sides of the fur with all the sides of the fabric. So if you wanted to find the center of your rectangle and make sure that it's all centered, and I'm just going to go from corner to corner, pinning, clipping, using everything I have. And because I was using fur and cotton, I did have a little bit of difficulties with it feeding into the machine because it's so bulky. I wasn't using it in this clip, but I did end up switching over to a walking foot just because the fabric wasn't feeding into the machine at an even rate. So if you do have a walking foot, and if you are working with such materials as myself, I'll leave a tutorial on how to use a walking foot in the information icon, and you can learn all about that. You might even have one and you just never pulled it out yet. This is a perfect reason why I should use it. So I just did all around all sides. I did actually leave that zipper open a little bit so that I could get inside but because this is all cotton, that really wasn't an issue. So even if you had to open your zipper from the inside, it really wasn't a big deal. So just to basically turn it right side out again, you're just going to undo that zipper and then flip it, and then your cushion cover is basically done. But I did, of course, cut off any of the excess fabric just to make sure that it's not too much bulky on the inside, and you don't want to end up seeing that, on your foam once it's been placed in the inside. So I'm just going to poke out all my corners. It is so nice and so soft. I'm gonna have a clip at the end of my cat enjoying it. I'm actually not making this pet bed for myself. I made it for my friend. She did just adopt a dog, and she came all the way from St. Lucia, which is amazing. So of course this little pup who had a little bit of a rough start over in St. Lucia will now have a beautiful forever home and a very comfortable couple beds. I did make 2 of these for her, so I'm super excited to see her use them, and she is such a sweetheart. Oh my goodness. She's a little thin, but we'll definitely be helping her get plumped up so that she can look nice and healthy very soon. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Of course, if you do, give me a thumbs up, share with all your friends, and if you make a pet bed, I would love to see it. So of course, a share on the social medias, the Pinterest, all that stuff. It helps me out, helps my channel grow, and helps me keep bringing you free and quality content. So thank you so much for